The general purpose of this video today is to inform. At the end of my presentation, the audience will know more about the profession of a peer recovery support specialist. Did you know 1 in 5 Americans struggle with a mental illness each year? It does not pick or choose who it affects. Found on the Arizona Access website under Fight Stigma, it is stated that 1 in 5 Americans live with a mental health condition. It goes on to say that a mental illness can affect anyone. By listening, you will understand the importance of this vital behavioral health resource many people may not be aware of. Peer recovery support specialist. I have a mental illness. 3, in fact. I'm also a recovering addict, and I will have 8 years of recovery in February. Today, I will tell you 3 things about peer recovery support specialist. First, I will tell you what makes the role of a peer recovery support specialist so unique. Secondly, I will explain the steps that a peer recovery support specialist uses to build trust. Finally, I will tell you why a peer support is beneficial to work with. First, I will tell you what makes the role of a peer recovery support specialist so unique. Found on the Arizona Access website under Healthcare Advocacy, it states that a peer recovery support specialist have their own story of behavioral health recovery and utilize their lived experience to help the people they serve and promote recovery-oriented environments. One of the things that I've been really good at helping other members with is creating schedules, organization skills, understanding their triggers, coping skills, and believe it or not, also communication skills. I do a lot better face to face. A peer recovery support specialist has to undergo training and pass a certification. They also have to have a fingerprint clearance card in order to work with other people. And I mean like the members. They can't, if somebody doesn't have their fingerprint clearance card, then they can't be alone with a member of the behavioral health agency. A peer support specialist follows certain standards when working with individuals in their care, and those standards are what help and allow for trust to develop. Secondly, I will explain the steps of what a peer recovery support specialist uses to utilize trust. A peer support specialist builds rapport with the member. Building a rapport goes way more than just talking to somebody. Building rapport means that this person is gifting me with their life story. They're gifting me with the troubles that they are experiencing. They are allowing me to see into their grief and their guilt and their shame. And while this is happening, I am listening to them. And when they allow me to, I share a little bit of my story with them. So that way they know that I empathize with them. And I don't pity them, but that I get it because I've been there. Another thing a peer support does to build trust is that they are reliable. When they make appointments with somebody, they keep those appointments. When they say they're going to do something, then they do it. A peer support shows up. They answer the phone, or if they can't answer the phone in the moment, then they call that person back as soon as they get a chance to. A peer support is there. Peer support is supportive, understanding, and encouraging. A peer support, in a way, is kind of like somebody's own personal cheerleader. Um, Finally, I'll tell you why a peer support specialist is beneficial to work with. A peer support is an advocate. They are somebody who will speak up when you haven't been heard. They are somebody who will go with you to your doctor's appointments. A peer support is somebody who will relay information back to their therapist or to their case manager, or will offer support if they need help setting boundaries with a family member. A peer support offers solutions to barriers. A peer support usually will pull upon their own personal experiences when it comes to finding solution to a barrier, right? There's that saying that goes, don't focus on the problem, focus on the solution. You have to focus on the solution in order to get past the problem. And that is one thing that the peer support will do. Especially if somebody is in the beginning stages of recovery, even if it's with mental illness or with addiction or even with alcohol, that member will come up with 101 reasons why they can't do something, or why something isn't going to happen, or that's just not going to work. And a peer support will push past all of those 101 reasons as to why it can't. A peer support will work with you until you accomplish all your goals, and a peer support is no longer needed. Although I tend to still check up on my people every now and then to make sure they're doing okay. Today, I told you 3 things about peer recovery support specialists. First, I told you what makes the role of a peer recovery support specialist so unique. Second, I explained the steps that a peer recovery support specialist uses to build trust. Finally, I discussed why a peer support specialist is beneficial to work with. According to the impact of peer support work on the mental health of peer support specialists by Poromesky and fellow authors, explains that it is important to remember that a peer recovery support specialist is maintaining their own recovery and therefore brings a unique type of insight. I have found this to be especially true when I have offered suggestions to other helping professionals that they themselves admitted being blind to. I'm thankful for all the info you provided in finding a job. No one has ever offered to help me with any of the stuff you told me about. I had no idea there was that kind of support available to people with mental health issues. You came at just the right time because I thought I was hitting rock bottom with no hope in sight. And this is a direct quote from somebody I worked with today. They will remain anonymous. I wanted to share this though, because this is a prime example of the power that a peer recovery support specialist wields. A peer recovery support specialist brings hope.